Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Check In Life Unscripted. I am Ernest James, podcaster, author, and speaker. Yeah, podcaster, author, and speaker. Welcome, man. Welcome. Today, momentarily, I am solo, but me and Veronica is here. The rest of the team has some other things going on, but they will be back soon. So again, let me say welcome again to Life Unscripted Weekly Check-In. Veronica is back.
Hey, welcome.
All right, you introduce yourself, Veronica.
Yes. Hi, I'm Veronica White. I have a nonprofit called Help from a Sister, where we cater to single parents who have a child on an autism spectrum. We help provide tools, techniques, and resources to help them transition from where they are to where they want to be. Thank you all for tuning in. It's another week of Life Unscripted. Well, the weekly check-in, Life Unscripted.
Yeah,
And today you just have me and Ernest. Ernest, did you introduce yourself already?
I did, but I can reintroduce myself again. I
Oh
am
no,
Ernest
you did.
James, podcaster, speaker, author. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. How was your week so far?
Oh man, so the beginning today is the new beginning of the week. And not only the new beginning of the week, definitely started off great. So today I ran my first 5K this morning. I have been kind of working out for it. And so I was able to do it this morning. I actually ran my first 5K, which is a little over 3 miles. It's like 3.5 miles or something like that. And not only was I able to run it, but I was able to run it and also beat my training time. So my training times was generally like within the 45 minutes in that area. And today I was actually able to run it in 37 minutes. So proud of myself, for number one
Awesome.
for doing it. But for start able to train for it, actually do it, start and finish it and beat my time. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm already signing up for my second one today too. So
Awesome. Congratulations.
thank you. It was a little workout, but I once I did it, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I think it's gonna be one of my things to do now. I put that right under hiking.
Okay. And then you know what? I think Kim, is her name Kim? Yeah. Kim that comes to our networking meetings. She did a
Mhm.
5K last year.
I think so. I
Okay.
think so. I think I remember her talking about it. Yep.
So the preparation, how long did you prepare before the actual event?
So you know what? So I shout out to Shalonda, uh, one of my Facebook friends, and she's also in the hiking group. And she was training for it, and so she was posting. She actually ran with me today too. So today was her first 5K too, and some other friends of hers also showed up that I met today. So that was cool. But she was training for it. She was using an app called From Couch to 5K. So basically, it's like from starting from scratch, to be able to run a 5K. I think it's within 8 weeks, 8 to 9 weeks, or something like that. And it's kind of scheduled out that you actually run like 3 days a week. And so it gives you like 30 minutes and have the timing go. And so she had been doing it for a while and posting her, just posting her results and stuff. So I was like, okay, and I had kind of hit her up and was like, what's going on, what it's about. And I always liked it running, but I had stopped running because I had hurt my legs on the job. And so whenever I would run, my shins would hurt. And so I just stopped running altogether. This was like a couple years ago. Actually, it was a whole lot of years ago, which I don't even know why I didn't think that it would be healed by now, because that probably was maybe 10 years ago. But at that time, I was actively running and my shins were hurt, and so I was just like, I stopped running, but I still walked. And so she was doing it, and I asked her about it. And she send me the app and everything. And I said, well, I'll try it, And so I started just doing that, which is like 30 minutes, and my legs didn't hurt. And I was like, oh, like my legs are not hurting. So I started doing it, and I didn't even make it to. I think I make it to like the 5th week, and by the 5th week, I was just like, all right, and I just start running. And so I ran the first mile, without stopping to see if I could do it. And I did it. I was like, okay. So the next time I was like, all right, let me try to see if I can hit 2 miles. And so I was able to hit 2 miles without stopping. And then I said, well, let's go for the 3 miles. And so when I hit the 3 miles, I'm like, oh, I can do it. I know I can do it now. And so I just kept on, still training and doing it. And did 4 miles. My last time I ran, I did 4 miles, just to push myself a little further. But today was the actual race day, and so yeah, so it's in the books. It's done.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, so you actually had to run it. It wasn't like you can walk some of it or no?
Well, you could if you wanted to, but I wanted to because I walk all the time, so I know I can walk it. You know what I mean? But I wanted to run it, and not a full speed run, but at least consistent. A consistent pace to get to the end, and that's how I train. But today I was like, I'm gonna push myself a little harder, so I started off fast, and then I slowed down and went to my consistent pace. And that allowed me to cut a couple, maybe 5 or 6 minutes off my time. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I want to walk the 3K.
You are,
Walk, speed walk it. Like walk like I'm
you are-
walking downtown.
right. Hey, we
Okay.
all start somewhere. So, but I'm gonna put you on for next year because I know I reached out to the group and kind of put it in there because I have been wanting to do a 5K run walk type deal, just for a fundraiser because I've been to other fundraisers like suicide awareness fundraiser and different fundraisers that I've had been either there whether I was registered or not, but I was still around it, and so it always been something I wanted to do in the past. But time goes on, it just kind of blew my mind. But today, once I actually got there and then did it, by the time I got to the end, I'm like, okay, we're doing this. So yeah, next year we'll be doing our own, and I'm started looking into that tomorrow because I already have an idea where I want to do it at. So I'm gonna start looking into that tomorrow. So next year we should be rocking and rolling.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. So you mentioned to me that now you're going to start once a month doing different workshops. So is that starting in June or is that starting in July about the workshops? And tell us about the different workshops.
Well, it's probably gonna be in July, which is my next one because I did one recently, but it's probably gonna be in July when the next one, just because June is hectic already. I'll be on my way this week to the next level speakers conference in Atlanta. Definitely excited about that. My second year going. Last year I went. I actually got rebaptized there at the conference. So yeah, it was great. So I'm doing that this week. So this weekend I'll be there. Next weekend is our forgiveness workshop, which is our virtual workshop that we've been doing every second Saturday of every other month. We've been doing that about 2 years now. So that is scheduled for next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but the second Saturday of
So
the
that
month.
will be June 15th is
Yes.
the forgiveness workshop.
So yeah, so I got that coming up, and then I actually did a workshop yesterday. I forgot about that. I did a workshop yesterday with two other speakers. I'm a bricklayer in my regular trade job. I am a bricklayer, and so me and one of my speaker friends, Keisha, who Keisha's on here all the time. I don't know why I said that, but Keisha, who's here, who is an electrician, and Dominique. So I think it's Dominique. Dom, who is a pipe fitter, was also on. And so the three of us did a workshop about the trades yesterday. That
Okay.
went well. And so we're planning to do it again towards the end of this month. So this month pretty much is already scheduled out as far as the weekends for the workshops. And so I'm thinking maybe in July we'll start the workshops again. And so my plan is to create 4 workshops and do those 4 workshops every quarter. So it'd be a different one each month for the 4 months of each quarter. And so right now I have one. Um, Embracing your grief is the one that
Okay.
is already completed. But I'm also going to do one on finding your purpose, and what is the other two that I was thinking about? Maintaining your faith during your mourning. So maintaining your faith during, when you're grieving. That is one that I've done before. I think I'm gonna do that one. And the fourth one, I'm not sure right now. I'm gonna figure it out though. But just to start, we're gonna start with those 4. And just like I said, just run those every at least once a quarter. They'll run through those 4, and the goal is to build them up enough to where we start doing in-person events as well. Around those same topics, and so that's the goal. So probably in July, we'll probably sometime in July, weekend in July will be the first one. Um,
Okay.
Part of it.
Awesome. Sounds good. And someone, I think, when I went to a conference in Indiana, was telling me about it's called Speak Up, right? Where they have locations where people can come and just speak and share whatever they're thinking and feeling to get it out and, to sit down so the next person can get up. I think it's called Speak It Out, something that originated in Indiana.
Okay, I have to look into that. That's I haven't heard of it, but I definitely have to look into it because that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And grief or dealing with it, right? Sometimes it's not only on losing a loved one, them passing,
Hmm.
in the relationships,
Yeah, yeah,
there's some
yeah.
grief behind that too, because now you have to mourn the relationship you thought you were going to be in for
Right.
however long that no
Yeah.
longer that.
Well,
So
and we often identify grief with the loss of a life, but really you can grieve any loss. It just depends on how much that loss means to you. We have grieved the loss of a pet. There are some people who have had their pets for years and their pet passed away, and that pet has been with them most of their life. And so that's a grieving too, a grieving of a job, that you might have had and took pride in and resonated, like, found some of your worth connected to that. And then when that is taken away for whatever reason, that could breed grief also. And so with that, even when my grandfather used to work for the phone company, and he had worked there years, and he never took a day off. Like, he never took off, and he didn't take vacations and stuff. And so when it got to time where it got close to where he could retire, he didn't want to retire. And they forced him into retirement. They're like, look, you've been here too long. You got all this PTO and vacation, so they like, you just got to retire. And so they kind of forced him into retirement. But even with my grandfather, I think that was a big part of who he was, and so literally like 3 years after he retired, he passed away. He wasn't sick or anything, and I think it was just that grieving heart of, part of my identity is gone, so yeah, so we can grieve any loss that affects us to the point that, we're missing something. Divorce is a loss because now you're it's a loss of the life that you had, or a loss of the life that you thought you would have. Loss of a dream. A lot of us have dreams and potential of things that we want to do, and then we turn around sometimes it's like, I didn't do it, and sometimes we feel like we can't do it. And so now you're grieving that idea And a lot of, if you think about when people graduate from high school, like students, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna do this and that, and sometimes they even go to college and you get that degree and then you get out and then now you can't find a job and now you're flipping burgers somewhere and it's like, where did I go wrong? And so now you're, grieving that loss of that
Mhm.
dream. So yeah, so we can basically grieve any loss. It's not just connected to losing the life of a loved one.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely. Okay. Looking forward to those workshops that you have coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're preparing for the daddy daughter dance that's happening at the Dalton.
Dalton, yeah,
I
at
don't
the
know what
Dalton.
field house,
Is it the field? It's the field house, but it's the
the
what's it
Emerald
called?
Room.
Yeah, yeah, and so it's going to be at the Dalton Field House in Dalton, Illinois. So and let me say this because I have to say it because people are like, oh, daddy daughter dance. It's daddy daughter dance for dads and daughters of all ages, right? So it's not just for the little kids; it's also for the adults too. Which is part of the story of why I wanted to do the daddy daughter dance because when my daughter was, younger, she had her first daddy daughter dance and I had to work. And so I was like, oh, I'll catch the next one. And my daughter is 22 now. And there never was the next one. And so when I started the Girl Dad Discussions podcast, that was one of my ideas that I wanted to do a daddy daughter dance in order to give myself and other fathers who may have missed that opportunity when their daughters were younger to have that chance to have that moment and have that dance. And even as we talked about it, Veronica, I think at our last meeting, even some of the adult ladies are reaching back and inviting their dads to
My
do it.
dad.
Yeah, just to do it. Some did have that experience and some may have not have had that experience, but it's for dads and daughters of all ages. Like all of us are gonna be in that together. I
Correct.
don't know
And
what the music's gonna look like with the different generations, but we're gonna make it work.
oh yeah, because the music they have these days. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
That's up
different.
to the DJ. Yes.
Yeah.
So we welcome all daddies and daughters
Mhm.
to come out of all ages to celebrate with us and to have an open dialogue when it comes to girl dads discussion. Because I'm a
Yeah.
daddy's girl. I love my dad. There was a time where, hey, I didn't think he was a good man for the young lady he was dating. And that's
Mhm.
me being a kid, just judging. But as an adult, no, my dad did what he had to do. He went above and beyond in a lot of different areas. So, yeah, hands down, my dad was the best of all time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And so, there again, that's why I wanted to do it with dads and daughters of all ages because as we go through those different changes, I'll just even use myself. Me and my daughter's mother got divorced when she was probably 8 years old, and so our relationship changed over the years because of that. They ended up moving to another state and things of that nature. So there was a lot of traveling involved and phone calls in order for us to keep our relationship. But that's even another reason why we weren't able to do the daddy daughter dances because I'm sure it was others, but by then they were staying in another state. And so it was like, okay, I can't get there for it. So I just know as my experience, and I know that I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only father who have had to miss those moments for various reasons, And so it's like, okay, I just want to recreate it for all of us who didn't get a chance to do it when we were younger, or for those who may still be younger and have the opportunity to do it when they're young, as they're young. But I just wanted it to be something for all of us dads to be able to do that because the message of the Girl Dad Discussions podcast is to, amplify the voices of girl dads in order to combat the narrative of the absent father and the fatherless daughter. Because there
yeah.
are many, many girl dads and many dads that's very active in the lives of our daughters. and we have great relationships with our daughters, and our daughter loves us, and we're, girl dads, and they're, all of that. And so I just really wanted to get that message out there because, in my own journey, just with people that I've connected to, that there's so many that may not have had that example or may not have had that relationship with their fathers, but there's so many that does. So a lot of times the negative always sounds a little louder than the positive, and so I'm like, well, I gotta put a mic to it, and so that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. And then I know I have a friend. Well, I'm gonna say he's a really good friend. He also was my pastor and my beautician. He's a fireman. Like he has a lot of different traits.
They do a lot of stuff.
He does. And he's good at pretty much everything he does. But he had a lot of daughters. I'm gonna say 5 at one point. He might have more. I gotta check the numbers. But he used to tell me he would take his daughters out like one at a time. And take them and, just take them to different restaurants and just have conversations. And I love that he did that. My daughter's father wasn't present, but he did it. And I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing to sit now. They're grown. His daughters are grown now. But yeah, he's been a present father. So I just love that he did that. So yeah, but he moved out the country too. Since he retired from the fire department, he's like, yeah, I'm done with Illinois.
Well, I know that's something that my brother does also, but he does his around birthdays. So for his daughters, he take for all of his kids, but especially his daughters, for their birthdays, they just have that time and that day for him and them. So I know that's something that he does with his daughters. For their birthday, they go out and like, okay, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And so that is something that he does. So definitely a good practice.
Yeah, it is. Okay, sounds great. What is so I was at a seminar Thursday and they were telling me that June is where a lot of people actually go look for houses or prepare if they preparing to buy a house. So I wanted to touch bases on some things, some tips, and hey, if you're ever interested in buying a house, but I didn't look it up. It's the Dearborn Association in Chicago. They host different classes and information about purchasing a home, or they have people that helps fix credit. Their programs are free.
Yeah.
They also mention about a program that I'm interested in. They only do it in December. It's called some kind of authorities class where you can go around, you take the class, you get a certificate. And if there's a home that's in your area in Chicago that is boarded up, a hazard to the community, like no one cuts the grass, a broken window, with the certificate, you get to go in and petition to get that property. You have to go cut the grass, you board it up and say, hey, I've been taking care of this property, making it safe for our community, but I would like to purchase it and fix it up. So therefore, someone can live there. It's a program in Chicago, some authorization.
Okay, I'm definitely interested in that because I even though I moved out of Illinois, I'm always in Illinois. I'm right across the border, so it's not that far. But all of my family pretty much still lives there, so I'm always there. And even going through some of the neighborhoods that I grew up in, I'm driving through there, and I'm like, man, I would love to get some of these properties because a lot of them just again need to be taken care of, and some of them are still in great shape. They haven't been vandalized or anything, but they've been abandoned for various reasons. And so I would love to definitely get into that program to be able to get some of those properties. And also there's the NACA program. I'm not sure what NACA stands for, but I know that's a nationwide program. I actually got into it myself for people who are first time home buyers and
Mhm.
looking to get their first home. NACA actually has the lowest rates, mortgage rates in the nation because it's sponsored by the government. So they have those lowest rates once you go through their procedures in order to make sure you have everything in order. But that is also another great resource for people that are getting their first homes. And which a lot of people don't know, but I definitely know Veronica, that with your first mortgage, that same mortgage to purchase a home can also purchase a commercial property up to 4 units. So if you wanted to buy a 4 unit apartment building, it's the same loan. So if you qualify to buy a house, you qualify to buy some commercial property and become a landlord, and start bringing in some resources. So a lot of
Additional
people don't
income.
know that's that same loan. So if you um, are approved for that loan, you can expand your vision just a little bit, and instead of buying a house. And actually this is good for young people, especially like college students, to really think about, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to buy my first house. Well, why don't you use that same loan to buy your first property?
Property.
Then that property can pay for your house. So a lot of people, I didn't even think about that. Well, I didn't know when I was younger, but again, we learn stuff, and so we want to make sure we're passing that knowledge along. So after I found out, definitely. So I would, any college student or just anyone that's looking to buy their very first home, just think about that. Buy the home, buy a piece of property instead first, and then that property can pay for your home. And don't worry about, I don't know how to do it. Put it in, and this is another thing. Put it into a property management company. Yes, they will take a cut, but you good. Just they will take their cut, but they will run it, they'll manage it for you, and then you could just wait for that check every month. And
That's
so
true.
you don't even have to have the headache of doing it. So yeah, it's you know, teach one, each one teach one.
And that's true. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I was just having that conversation with my cousin yesterday. So
Mhm.
not only can you go and buy a property, a 4 unit building, right, to get additional income, if there's someone in those units, that goes towards your income for qualifications too.
Hmm.
So whatever their security deposit is, that'll come to you. That's offsetting the down payment you have to put. Even though you might qualify for the first time home buyers credit, you'll get other credits for them. And you can, yeah, four units. If somebody's living in them, use that to qualify you to get a higher property. And I was telling a young man too recently, he's looking to buy a home, but I'm like, hey, if you go and buy a 4 unit building, whatever area you like to stay in, say most people like Bronzeville, that inner city,
Mm-hmm.
those homes over there, 500,000, 800,000, right? Now, yes, you can say,
That is that the price of the homes?
well, homes and you properties.
Okay.
Some they can be up to 1 million or more, right? But it depends on the area.
Mm.
But I'm speaking Bronzeville area. Yeah, their homes and properties are not less than 500,000.
Okay.
But it's a good area. And if you're looking at a 3 or 4 unit in that area, what average rent might be about 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, you got an additional $6,000, $6,000 to $9,000 that can help you qualify for that $900,000 property that your tenants are going to pay majority of it. And yes, you're going to have to pay something, but it's not as much. But at the end of the day, that's your property. You got additional income. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're ready to buy your second piece of property, will be the house you want to live in. Now your building is going to help with the income for your next. Excuse me. So there's some perks. And yes, if you, depending on your situation and what you have going on, your first piece of property should be an investment property.
Yeah.
And from there, use that to go get your second piece of property. Well, now you get to live wherever you want in whatever area you're looking to have a property in.
Yeah.
And for that property management, most property management companies only take 10%. But you don't have to have the headaches. I use a property management company for all my properties to find tenants. Like, hey, eventually, soon, they're going to manage all my properties. But I do when it comes to looking for tenants. I have a property manager that runs their credit, do the background check. Oh, and then let me mention this. I just thought about this today, and I want to present it to a couple of people. When it comes to maintenance or people that's doing construction, I don't think a maintenance person will come to a property owner and say, hey, let me come inspect your units every month, every 2 months. You don't have to pay me for that. But if something goes wrong, it's either you're responsible for paying it or your tenants. So let me go do the inspection to make sure your property is up to date. And if it's something that's tenant's responsible, then hey, now I have a dedicated repairman that's going to, my tenant got to pay him to, get my property back up, because now I'm not doing security deposits, I'm doing move-in fees. But because I'm doing a move-in fee, I put in my lease that every 2 months, someone has to come in and assess where this unit is at, because when you moved in, everything was new.
Right.
I know it won't be new when you move out, but I need to make sure it's maintained accordingly. Right. So I will speak to a couple of people to say, hey, are you interested in doing that? And if you are, take that to some other landlords and say, hey, this is something I can offer you.
Yeah. And also depending on the size of the project, the size of the building, and I won't even say that, because it's still, if the landlord has multiple properties, then it still can work, because there's also, as even if you're looking for somewhere to stay, that's a way in too. It's like, okay, if I could rent one of your apartments for half or whatever, just so that you always have maintenance on the property, then it makes it even better, because like, all right, look, I'll be on call because I'm already here. You know what I'm saying? And so if something happens in the middle of the night, I can just go upstairs and fix it. So that's even a way that a conversation that can be had with a landlord, for those handymen and people like that who will want to do that maintenance to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point as well.
Yep. So what else we got?
Good. So, well, today I'm hanging out with my mom. I'm about to take her to Mario's on Taylor Street because she likes their ices. And then pick up my grandson. And then I'm just going to chill the rest of the day.
Yeah. I chilled a little bit after the 5K, which was further north. So I had to come back south to get closer to home. And so I actually went to the beach. It's a beautiful day in Chicago right now. A little breezy today, but definitely a beautiful day. If you haven't been outside, get outside, man. Get outside, especially in Chicago. You got to enjoy it while it's nice, because the winter is coming. And the way our weather works, it could be here tomorrow. Like it's, at any time, we're like, all right, we changing. So when it's nice, make sure you guys get outside and enjoy that.
That is true. The fresh air sounds great. So what do you have coming up this week? What are you working on this week?
This week, I mentioned the 5K, and I definitely want to do my own 5K next year, host it next year. So I definitely want to put that on our calendar of events. So tomorrow I'm actually going to the space where I want to have it. And I know they do it because I've seen they've hosted other events there, other walks and runs there. And so I'm going to go tomorrow to investigate and get information about what I need to do in order for us to do one next year. So yeah, so my wheels is already turning. So that's one thing that I'm doing. I also have an appointment to do some videos, some promotional videos for my speaking business this week. And then come Thursday, I'll be on my way to Atlanta
Yeah.
for the conference. So yeah, and then that'll be until next week. So Thursday, I'm flying in Thursday, flying out Monday. So I'll be down in Atlanta for the weekend.
Sounds good. And I guess we need to let everyone know probably the next 3 weeks we might not be on with the
Yeah,
weekly.
it's gonna be touch and go the next couple of weeks.
Yes. So we're not dropping off, but hey, there's some things going on that we gotta attend to.
Yeah,
And
life be life, and so we gotta maybe we can do some kind of video or something just to send it out at our regular scheduled time. Maybe we can pre-record something or something. I don't know, but yeah. So we're going to figure something out. But in case you guys don't see us next Sunday or the next couple Sundays, we will be back.
exactly 3 weeks. But yeah, that's a good idea to try to schedule something to have it come out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about those last 2 weeks if I can make that schedule happen, but hey, if we get it enough time, anything's possible.
Yep, yep. And the whole crew should be back soon.
Yes, and then so if we don't see it, I'm starting now. June is Father's Day, and Ernest, and we're doing a daddy daughter dance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say Happy Father's Day in advance. I'm gonna be still talking to you,
Right.
but I wanted to acknowledge you as a father,
Thank
the
you.
role
Thank you.
model. So
Thank
yes,
you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I just definitely want to say Happy Father's Day to the other fathers and definitely the fathers that's going to make it. If you are in the Chicagoland area, come on out. You know what? We didn't put the link for that in the thing. We do need to do that. Where you guys can register for the daddy daughter dance ahead of time. We'll put it in the comments after we finish up, and then I'll make sure I go back and put the link in the comments. But if you are in the Chicagoland area, you are a dad or a daughter of any age, and you would like to come out, click on the link, register, get your tickets in advance because we do have limited tickets this year because this is the first year, so we didn't go big. And so we do have limited tickets. So get your tickets as soon as possible so that you and your daughter or you and your father can come out to the daddy daughter dance for dads and daughters of all ages, which will be on the last Sunday of the month, which is June 29th.
yes. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you all. Tickets are $25. All right. Well, on that note, I think we had a good show. We're going to give you all the rest of your Sunday back. Please get out and enjoy. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the line is not too long at Mario's, but we'll be there for my mom.
Yep. Enjoy that family time. Get outside yourself, but then make sure you're enjoying that family time. Especially all the fathers. We don't have to wait till Father's Day, or to the children. You don't have to wait till Father's Day to do something for us. Take us out to ice cream. I like ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
All right, sounds good. On that note, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, you all.
With the weekly check-in, Life Unscripted.